Chase Claypool not off to a good start here in the 2023 season as he has been placed on the physically unable to perform list. We will give you the updates on all the details that we know at this point and why this is such a big impact coming into this season. All that more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's go. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. So Chicago Bears placing Chase Claypool on the PUP list to start off training camp. And this is tough, right? I mean, basically what we know right now, it's not clear what the primary issue is, but Coach Flus indicated that there are multiple issues, minor issues that are at play, and that they'll basically just be watching and monitoring him closely until he's ready to go. This sucks, because this is a training camp that is all about chemistry for me. You heard me. If you listen to me over on the Chicago Bears podcast as well, you heard me and Lance Briggs basically talking about how health is going to be so key for the Bears heading into this season, is because there's so much chemistry that has to be gained. There's so much that has to be put together with this team. I mean, at the end of the day, you're looking at a Bears team right now that has such a pivotal training camp that they're going into, that having an injury like this could change somewhat of how you attack the beginning of your season. I think that most of us think that Chase Claypool was coming in here with a chance to compete for that number 2 spot. As much as Justin Fields and Darnell Mooney are very, very simpatico and have worked together well over these last couple of years, and they're boys, at the end of the day, you're sitting here looking at a team that traded for a guy in Chase Claypool, have wanted him to kind of come out here and do a little bit more than he has done. And I mean, his entire time here in Chicago has just been riddled with the injury bug. And if you're going to take a chance on anybody, right, both Mooney and Claypool up for contract extensions this offseason, if you're going to take a chance on anybody, you got to go with the guy that's more healthy. Darnell Mooney coming off of an injury, but that was more of a major thing. Claypool has had a bunch of minor bang-ups and different things like that. And so it does bring up a little bit of a red flag early, especially with everything that was happening off the field. I mean, I'm shocked by this because we did see him down there with Justin Fields working. We saw him down there training with Fields. So is this something that happened while they were training on their own? Is this a tweak? I mean, is this training that he got while working down there? Is this something that he got coming back up here and maybe getting in the weight room? We have no details on that. Field Yates did report this, though, earlier, that Chase Claypool will be starting off training camp on the PUP list. And it's tough, right? Because you want to establish what this wide receiver room is going to look like early, 100%. I think it's a little bit easier if you come out and you're like, oh, we still look really good. Right? Like if all of a sudden we go out there and Darnell Mooney looks like a great number 2 and Justin Fields is dominating with DJ Moore, it's going to be one of those situations where we're sitting here and we're like, and wait till Chase Claypool comes back. But the main thing is you gave capital up for this guy, and he hasn't been able to produce anything on the field. And he's somebody that I was high on when he came over here to Chicago, and I was excited for the Bears to go out and get, and it hasn't proven me right to this point. It's not even that he can't play. It's just we haven't seen him on the field enough in the slightest, based on injury, based on the playbook as well. So, we'll see what this all ends up being at the end of the day. Let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you guys as well. What are your thoughts on Claypool starting off this training camp on the PUP list, and where are you most concerned at with this Chase Claypool deal so far? I hate coming out before training camp, like the week of, starting conversations like this, but hopefully this is something that can get done. That can be done with, I should say, by the second week of training camp. Hopefully it is just minor stuff, where it's just stuff he's got to work through, massage through, whatever it is. And I hope that this isn't anything, right? Like, I hope this is the Bears throwing him a bone on anything contract related. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but remember the last time we saw this was with Roquan Smith, and it was because there was an issue with the contract dispute and stuff like that. Like, I would hope we're not even sitting here having contract conversations with Chase Claypool at this point. But what this does do in a weird way, and this is just how every sport works, right? It gives opportunity. And so some of the guys that you got to be looking at as well coming up on this field that, I mean, there's now a chance for somebody to go out there and make a name. And I think the main guy that most people are looking at, and the number one guy that you have to be looking at in this situation is Tyler Scott. I mean, at the end of the day, Tyler Scott, when my screen go up? I think the one guy you're going to have to be looking at the end of the day is Tyler Scott, right? Like he's your main guy that you went out and drafted, that you feel like can be a speedster down the field, that you feel like. I looked at his tape in college and I thought he had excellent hands. I thought he had a really good ability to go up and get it. I thought that, the speed routes with him, he's going to be another target downfield standing next to a guy like DJ Moore. It'll be really interesting to see what he's going to be able to bring to the table here. And I'm excited to see how Justin Fields is going to work him in. And I think here's something to remember as well. Of course, Equanimeous St. Brown still on the team. Not a bad number 2 in Equanimeous St. Brown. But just I don't think that most people believe he's your long-term guy. But what you can say about St. Brown is very much like last season. This guy knows the system. He 110% knows the system. The other guy that you really have to be watching closest, and I think that is going to have major eyes on him the entire time, and that hasn't been talked about in a while, is Velus Jones. We got to know what the heck Velus Jones is. Remember, he was a 3rd-round pick last season. He was somebody that the Chicago Bears were really high on, and his rookie season did not show that. And unfortunately, based on his age, you have to sit there and have the conversation of, if you're not getting it done by this season, we probably need to move on from you, because coming into the season, Velus Jones is already 26 years old. Already 26 years old. I believe a birthday on him is in May. So birthday just passed. But, when we're starting to move towards, okay, when we're going to be ready to pay this guy, we're talking about 28, 29. You got to show something. You got to show something, right? No, 28. You got to show something before then, because I think that this is a very pivotal time for him to be able to prove that he's a NFL level wide receiver, or at a minimum, a guy who we thought could be very dangerous on the special teams. Had a tough time holding on to the football last year. I'm sure that he's worked on that in the offseason. I hope to see him prove me wrong. I'm not a huge believer in him. I think the Bears went out and tried to find his replacement in Tyler Scott. And so I do think that you kind of want to see that, because at the end of that bench, right, if you're talking about the special teams guy, I'm looking more at Dante Pettis, because I know what Dante Pettis can do. I've seen him have success being a special teams guy in this NFL already, being a special teams guy with the Chicago Bears. So I think that you're probably leaning his way a little bit more in all of this. But there's an opportunity here with Chase Claypool going down in training camp for somebody to establish themselves. And I think that the main part that you have to remember is, think about last season. Justin Fields, the Chase Claypools, the who else was on? N'Keal Harry's, I'm trying to remember some of the guys who were on the team last year that was just god awful that we just didn't bring back, right? Like when they came back into the rotation, Justin Fields did not trust them. Anybody who wasn't at training camp with him, Justin Fields did not trust. And so now you're coming into a situation where this is a very important training camp, because that's how you're going to build trust with your quarterback, and a belief where he's going to be like, okay, I'm going to let the ball go. We're going to get it into this guy's hands. That's even tougher to not have Chase Claypool here. This is a serious time for him, and this could cause him to fall out of, I don't want to say out of the rotation, because of what you traded for him, he's not going to fall out of the rotation, but fall out of Justin Fields' trust, because we've seen that happen with Justin in training camp. He's not somebody who's just going to go out there and give the ball to whoever is on the field that day. He wants to sit there and know that he can trust the guy that he's delivering the football to. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of a change from Justin on that this season, because of the, his fear to let the ball go quickly sometimes last season. But we'll see what it is at the end of the day, man. But hey, let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. Do you feel like the Chicago Bears are in a little bit of trouble with Claypool going on the PUP list already? Is this just minor stuff and you're not that worried about it? And who are some of the wide receivers that you're going to be watching for coming up behind Chase Claypool? I'll be down in the comments talking with you guys as well. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bears content. Click the links on the screen or check the links in the description below. Y'all stay safe out there, Bears fans. Peace.